our coming runoff elections here in Hidalgo County, Congress 15 on the Democrat side, we still need to choose a candidate. One of two candidates on the ballot is Vicente Gonzalez. He's running for Congress 15, wants the nomination on the Democrat side. Mr. Gonzalez, thanks for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. I've been a business owner and a practicing lawyer here for almost 2 decades. I've been fighting for working families and taking on some of the largest corporations in the world in the courtroom and in the boardroom, and I intend to take that same fight to Washington to help our community and our district get the biggest bang for their buck in Washington.
All right. Well, tell us a bit more of the backstory, where you grew up, about your family, and what you're doing for a living these days.
I own some rental property, real estate, and I'm a lawyer. I represent a lot of businesses and homeowners here in South Texas. I was born in Corpus, but I've been here for the past 2 decades, and I married an amazing woman from here, from McAllen. So they always say home is where your wife is from, and I agree with that. So this is home. I love it, and we've got eight counties in our district. Hidalgo encompassing 57% of the congressional district, and there's 7 other counties moving north all the way to Seguin that encompass our congressional district. Some of the important issues that are affecting our community that are important to me, obviously, are our Medicare cuts, that our seniors are getting a lot less care than they were, and Social Security cuts, where this time, for only the third time in history, our seniors got a 0 cost of living increase in Social Security. So those are important issues that I intend to take on as soon as I get to Washington. I also have a plan for high school graduates to have their first 2 years of college or technical school tuition free. A lot of people ask, how are you going to pay for it? Well, the fact is that high school graduates earn between $18,000 and $24,000 a year on average, and with just 2 years of education, and pay 10%, which is about $2,000 a year. By increasing them with 2 years of education, it puts them in the $50,000 to $60,000 range, where they go from paying 10% to 20%, and they go from paying $2,000 a year to about 10 or 12 a year. And in the first 2 to 5 years, we recover 100% of that investment. We have a more educated workforce, and at the end of the day, it's the right thing. It's to educate your community. Our veterans, I'm the son of a Korean War veteran. I went to school on a military base. I'm very close to our veterans here in our community. We have 50,000 veterans here in South Texas, and we've been talking about a VA hospital all my life. And we will continue to fight for that VA hospital, but until we get it, I feel veterans should have a card in their wallet where they can go to any medical institution in our country and go to the front of the line and get the best health care that they deserve and they've earned. We have veterans coming home right now from Afghanistan and other areas with a higher post-traumatic stress than ever in history. And we're losing 22 veterans every single day to suicide. And last year we lost almost 7,000 veterans to suicide. And I think as a government we should be ashamed of that. And we need to fix that. We need to make sure our veterans have good health care when they come home, good mental health care to transition them back into society, and good paying jobs when they return home. And those are some of the most important things on my agenda.
Yeah. You touched on the issue. You started off with some of the medical spending by the government, Medicaid, Medicare as well. On Obamacare, any changes or leave it as is?
No, it needs changes. The idea of universal care for all Americans is obviously a great idea in general, but the law that was passed is rough around the edges. It needs to be tweaked. It needs to be fair. It needs to be fair to small business owners. It needs to be fair to employees. And it needs to work. I think it was rushed through. I think there's a lot of things that could be improved. I intend to sit with our medical community, to sit with our seniors, to sit with folks who are dealing with it directly, to sit with our small business owners, and find out what can be done to polish this idea and make it work.
You mentioned on student loans or getting kids in college a couple of years, and of course you've been getting some of the kickback, and how do you pay for that? Well, the biggest bill is, of course, the looming national debt, and continues to grow every single year. The latest trend, about $500 billion every year. Any ideas on how to balance the budget and pay down that debt?
Well, absolutely. I think we need to start looking at our budget in its totality and see where we can trim. I think there's a lot of foreign aid that we're given to countries that maybe are not very helpful to us, and I think that's a good place to start. And there's government waste across the board, and I think we need to start. I mean, it doesn't seem to be an income problem. It seems to be an expenditure problem. And we're spending on a lot of projects that are really just a waste of money and things that we need to be, monies that we should be using to pay down our debt and pay down, cut our interest that we're paying on this debt. And certainly we don't want to be beholden to, the Chinese or other countries that are holding our notes. And I think that's where we stand now, and it's, a very important issue for all of us.
Being on the border security always seems to be the top issue. National media always throwing us into the limelight. Any ideas on border security?
Yes, I have an idea. And right now, Mexican nationals are going home at a higher number than are coming to the United States illegally. And what I want to do is I want to engage the government of Mexico and engage through diplomacy and through economic pressure of some sort if we have to assure we need their assistance in protecting and guarding and holding the line on their southern border, which has become a huge problem for us. And I think we've helped people protect their borders and guard their borders across the world. We need to help Mexico do the same in their southern border. They need to hold the line there. We could have refugee centers. We could have health care. Everything that we've done here on the border and even on the American side that's cost us billions of dollars, I think we could do it for a lot less and try to assure that problem never reaches our border. And I think we need to engage Mexico much more in that respect. I've been saying this for a few years, since before I ran for Congress. I've been telling my congressman that, why isn't we need to get Mexico to do their part in their southern border. I know that they do have border guards and everything, but we have technology. We can help with boots on the ground. We can help with intelligence. We can assist in making it a reality. And I think that what happened when we had Central American children showing up to our borders and that type of issues coming again, it's not if it happens, it's when it'll happen. And I'm looking ahead and saying, okay, let's start planning for that. Let's engage our neighbor to the south in Mexico and say, let us help you guard your southern border and protect, your country and ours as well. And we need to obviously do in Central America and some places in South America what we've done in Mexico. Their economy is doing better. People are earning more and are wanting to stay home. And I think Central America probably needs some of that help there at home and their businesses and infrastructure and through government. And I think we need to start looking at ideas like that and, through trade and education to try to prevent another influx of mass migration to our border.
Of the folks, the millions of folks that are in the country illegally, what would you propose?
Well, first of all, they need to apply and they need to, find a proper method of applying for legal status. Our dreamers, I have, a special place in my heart for them. These are young children who came here by no choice of their own. This is the only country that they know and love. And I think if they're good citizens, they've worked hard, they've gone to school, I think that they should have a very fast, quick path to citizenship. Folks who served in our armed services that should also have immediate citizenship. If you go to war for our country, I think you deserve to be an American. On parents, we need to, analyze it on a case-by-case basis and have a strict analysis. And we want to keep the best. And folks who shouldn't be here. Okay.
Final thoughts, message to the voters as we approach the runoff election.
Well, the most important message that I want everyone to remember is that Election Day is May 24th, and May 16th to the 20th is early voting. And so you can vote anywhere in the county. Doesn't matter if it's in your precinct or in your district or not. Anywhere within the county, you can go and vote from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I ask you to remember my name, Vicente Gonzalez, for Congress.
Vicente Gonzalez, a Democrat, one of two Democrats that are in the runoff race in Hidalgo County, and you'll find him on the May 24th election ballot.